Good morning. This is Miss Cruz speaking. How are you today? I want to welcome everybody to our science class. Today it's Tuesday, May 19, and the year is 2020. Today we are going to continue talking about endemic species. Please take out your book, your notebook, and your pencil. And I will invite you to go to page number 46. Please listen to the instructions. Stay with me. Don't go away. Look the video. This is your science class. It's important that you pay attention to what Ms. Cruz is going to teach you today. It's important that you listen, that you pay attention, that you follow instructions, and that you stay with me during the video. Okay? Now, please, let's go to the next page. Here we are on page number 2, and we are going to talk about endemic species. Last week, we talked about what an endemic species is. But let me do a review for you. An endemic species, also called native species, are those living things that can only be found in a geographical region of the planet and nowhere else. So this species, it's going to be found only in one place in the planet, and that is a native species. And here I have an example for you: the panda bear, or the giant bear, or the giant panda. It's also known as the panda bear. So this beautiful animal, it's is native from South Central China, and one of his famous characteristics is that they have large black patches around its eyes, over the ears, and across his round body. Okay, you can see the pictures right here. The black patches around his eyes, over the ears, and across the round body. And as you can see, this little fellow right here has a little bamboo. Okay, now here you have the vanguard. You have bamboo, you have endemic, you have decrease, endanger, and increase. You have 5 words, and out of the 5 words you are going to use 4 of them to be able to answer the following statements. The giant panda, it's an endemic to southwestern China. And panda are an species because there is a small population of about 1,600 pandas in the wild. So panda are an endangered species. Why? Because there is only a small population of about 1,600 panda in the wild. Do you remember what endangered species is? And an endangered species is when there is a small amount of these animals, and that they can easily disappear from the planet. So that is going to happen to the panda because it's an endangered species. Okay, the next one. They depend mostly on for their survival. What kind of food do they have every day? Well, they depend mostly on bamboo for their survival. The next statement: if they trend of destruction of bamboo forest areas continue, the current panda population in the wild will blank significantly. What is going to happen with the panda if the destruction of the bamboo forests areas continue? So the population in the wild forest it will decrease significantly. Where are you going to answer of these statements? Go to your science book on page 46. There you are going to answer the statements. If you have your book, please grab your book and answer this part. If you don't have it, please copy this in your notebook or print it if you can do it. If not, you need to copy this part, okay? But if you have your book, go to page 46 and you will complete this part. And remember, this is an endemic species, and one of the examples that we have on this page is the panda bear or the giant panda. So this is the exercise number 5 in your book. If you have any question, please remember to ask me about it. And there is another thing that I want to mention before we can go to the next page. Look, the word endemic. The word endemic, it's already crossed out. Why? Because we use it. I already used that as an answer. So every time you use one of the word, please cross out. And then at the end you will have the right answer. Okay, now let's go to the next page. Okay, here we are on page number 3, and we're still talking about the endemic species. Now go to page number 46 in your book, and we are going to answer exercise number 3 and number 4. And here you have, match the endemic species to the region, then listen and check your answer. Here you have the old man cactus, the Carolina chickadee, the camel, the giant panda, the Magallanes penguin, the lion, and the baobab tree, and the kangaroo. You're going to listen to the audio that is in this video, and you are going to be able to answer the exercise number 3 and the exercise number 4, but you need to listen to the audio first, okay? And you can see you have like a little rectangles or squares which each animal, next to each animal. For example, look, camel already have the answer, and the answer is the letter E. And here where the map, look where the letter E is. Okay, it's between Europe and Africa. So you are going to listen to the audio, and then you are going to be able to write the answer in each square. So listen carefully, and they are going to tell you where each of these endemic species belong, to what regions. Okay, and write the letter. Now, number 4, listen again. Listen to the audio again and complete the chart. Here you have, it's going to be an endemic species. You need to find the name of the endemic species. You have the location, which is China, and then you need to find the habitat. And the last one is going to be the food, but you have the food there. It's bamboo. So location and food, it's already answered. You need to listen to the audio and then write the name and the habitat of this endemic species. Okay, so it's important that you listen to the audio. please, and answer the question. This is in your book, page 46, exercise number 3 and exercise number 4. If you have your book, please complete it. And if you don't have it, you are going to copy this in your notebook. Okay? So I hope you don't have any problem to be able to answer this page. Please listen carefully to the audio. Listen carefully to be able to answer these 2 exercises correctly. Okay? Now let me go to the next page to be able to complete the next exercise.
Mr. Frank, I'm sorry, but I just don't think it is right to have animals caged in a zoo. I think they have the right to be free and out there in their natural habitats.
Vicky, that's a wonderful way to care for animals. I know you don't like to see them here, but I have some good news to tell all of you about the zoo. The animals you see here got hurt in the wild, and they wouldn't have been able to survive. So out there, in the areas where they were found, a veterinarian cured them. But they are no longer strong enough to survive in the wild, and that's how we keep them alive. Besides, a lot of them are endangered species. That is, there are so few of them in the wild that if one dies, it's a huge loss for the species. Here at the zoo, they can survive and reproduce with our care.
Wow, Mr. Frank, I didn't know that. I'm so happy they're alive and cared for.
All of us are, Vicky. So, should we begin the tour?
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the Carolina chickadee. This bird is endemic to the southeastern United States. Their habitat is the temperate forests, and they eat wild seeds and fruits, as well as spiders and tiny insects. Next, we have the Magellanic penguin, endemic to cold areas of South America. This is a highly sociable bird that spends a lot of time with other penguins. Their habitat is found mostly off the coast of southern Argentina and Chile in rocky areas or islands. They eat sea animals like fish. And on this side, we have the kangaroo, which is endemic to Australia. Since there are over 60 species of kangaroos, their habitat can be found in many different types of ecosystems. They eat plants and occasionally fungi. Kangaroos are not threatened or endangered because the government of Australia monitors the kangaroo population to protect them. However, lions are. Let's take a look at them. Lions are endemic to sub-Saharan Africa. Their habitats are found in grasslands, but not in deserts or rainforests. They eat large and small animals, even reptiles and their eggs. And speaking of the Sahara Desert, here we have the camels. Camels are now domesticated animals originally endemic to North Africa. They have successfully adapted to the harsh conditions of the hot, dry deserts and can go a week or more without drinking water. They eat short grasses and plants. Finally, we have the giant panda. The giant panda is an endangered species. They are endemic to southwestern China. Their habitat is found in bamboo forests, and they eat bamboo. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Frank, we've been learning a lot about animals, but I'm curious about plant species. See, I want to be a biologist. Can you please tell us something about endemic plants?
Well, that's not my specialty, but I'll gladly do it. Let's take a look at this old man cactus. It's endemic to Mexico and threatened in the wild. Fortunately, cultivating it has reduced the threat. This is a very attractive species because it is covered in white, silvery hair-like needles. And on that side, we have a baobab tree. 6 of the 8 baobab tree species are endemic to Madagascar. They're called the upside-down tree because of their unique shape. Can you see why?
Wow, yes. Can you see how the branches...
Okay, now go to page 47 in your notebook. And the title for this page is Why are species endangered around the world? It's a question. And here you have exercise number 6. Read and complete the 3 posts to the BioWork online magazine. Here you have the work activities, trees, degrees, roads, shelter, paper, light, and pesticide. And then you have 3 pictures. And next to the picture, there is a little square. And there you have an empty space where you are going to answer the question. There you're going to be able to answer the statements. Okay, now look, the answer for the last picture, it's letter C. So we still have 2 more to answer. Now, last month, we began the guess for season. Why species are endangered in many parts of the world? Today, we present 3 most convincing polls on habitat loss. Okay, and here we have the opinion of letter A, which is Javier. Javier is a 28 years, a 20 years old biologist from Costa Rica. Letter B, it's an ID 37 activist from Jordan. And C, it's Marianne. I'm sorry, it's not Marianne, it's Mariana, 34 years biologics from Mexico. Okay, there you have your three letters. Now, the first one is going to be, it's called habitat destruction. It is the condition that threaten species the most because they lost their shelters, food, and environment needs for survival. As a consequence, it creates biodiversity loss. This tends to be caused by logging or the cutting of blank for building materials, furniture, or for manufacturing, blank, and cardboard products, as well as cleaning up land for agriculture. Okay, so here you have 2 empty spaces, and you need to answer them with the word that you have at the top of the page. Okay, so what is going to be the answer for number 2? This tends to be caused by logging of the cutting of the, look, the words, the cutting of the trees. That is correct. The answer for number 2 is cutting of the trees. T-R-E-E-S. For building materials, furniture, or for manufacturing. Why does humans cut the tree? What is that we get out of the tree? What is the reason why we cut trees? It's because we want to manufacturing paper. Okay, so the answer for number 3 is paper. Now, habitat degradation. The same thing you have to do. You need to read this part. You need to answer number 4, number 5, and number 6. There you have habitat fragmentation. There you're going to answer number 7 and number 8. Make sure that you read them carefully, it's slow, concentrate, and make sure that you find the answer at the top of the page. And when you use one of the words, please cross out. As the word shelter, it's crossed out because that is the answer for number 1. The same thing that you have to do for number 2, which is the answer 3, and the answer for number 3 is paper. Okay, continue reading and answer that question. And remember, exercise number 7, read against and match the picture in activity 6 to the pose. Okay, here you have A, B, and C. C is the last one. It's Marianne, 34, biologist from Mexico. So you're still having 2 more to answer. So make sure that you answer them correctly. Read the instruction, please. And if you still have any inconvenience, you have to let me know. Okay, now we are on page number 5. And you should turn your page to page 48 in your book. Now here we are going to talk about consequences of biodiversity loss. The greatest identified threat to ecosystems and biodiversity is habitat loss. And the consequences of biodiversity loss to human, wildlife, and the environment can be devastating. Here we have one of the consequences. Soil erosion is one of those consequences, and it happens when plants ground cover its loss. Without plant, the soil loses its ability to hold water and become dried, and it can also produce landslides. And those happen when the side of a hill or mountain slide down and leave a lot of destruction behind. Also, without the necessary moisture, the plants hold wildfires can be initiated by lightning. The opposite type of consequences is a flood. Flood occurs when heavy rain falls or the melting of snow and ice overwhelm the soil's capacity to absorb water. Swamps and marshes provide the environment with a natural response to heavy rainfall because they can hold a lot of water. But they are frequently dry to cover the land for human use, which leave the area unprotected. So the consequences that the environment it experiences right now because of the biodiversity loss, it's devastating the ecosystem. Soil erosion is an example, landslide is another one, wildfires, flood, and another one that I have to mention is while humans' activities are intended to satisfy people's needs, exploitation of the environments that leads to biodiversity loss can create scarcity. This means that when endemic species are lost, fewer resources are available within an ecosystem for the survival of other species and for human beings. So human, it's destroying the ecosystem. We are destroying our home. And sooner or later, we are not going to be able to survive and on this planet, and other species are going to be extincted. So we have to change. We have to change, and we have to um, make some changes in our life to be able to continue living in this planet. So here you have exercise number 10. Remember, we are on page 48. Here you are going to read again, and you are going to complete the chart. Look the first one, the first picture that you have. Look the second picture. The third picture, you already have the answer there. The answer is landslides. And look the next picture. Okay, so these are the consequences of biodiversity loss, and you need to complete the exercise. Look the first picture. What is the answer for the picture number 1? Okay, it looks to me that it's a soil erosion. And what is a soil erosion is? It is one of those consequences that can happen when plants' ground cover is lost. So, the first picture is soil erosion. Look number 2. There is water everywhere. So that is flood. That is a flood. A flood occurs when heavy rainfall or the melting of snow and ice overwhelm the soil's capacity to absorb water. So the soil is not capable of absorb the water that is around. And the last one, it's a wildfires. Wildfires. That's an example of a wildfires, and how human beings are destroying the ecosystem. So the consequences are terrible for our planet. This is going to be all the lesson for today, and I hope that you can be able to answer all the questions, and that you can be able to think about it, what is happening to our planet, because human people, whatever you want to call, we are destroying, or we are exploiting our environments. That's why we have a lot of biodiversity loss. And here we have a list of consequences. Okay, now let's go to the next page and talking about the homework. Okay, here we are on page number 6, and the homework is very easy. What you need to do is you need to study the information on this video. Please review this video 1, 2, 3, and 4 times if it's possible. Review this information. It's important that you know what is an endemic species is, what is an endangered species, what are the consequences of biodiversity loss, and that you can give me some examples of that. So it's important that you keep this in your mind. Now, when you finish that part, you are going to complete your book, page 44, page 46, and page 47 and 48. In your books, if you have your science book, please complete these 4 pages. And if you don't have your book, what you need to do is you need to copy this information in your notebook. Make sure that you complete the pages in your notebook if you don't have your book, okay? So there are no excuses. You should be able to complete your homework. Now, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your kindness, and thank you for your appreciation. Please stay healthy, eat fruit and vegetables, drink a lot of water, and may God bless you, and may God bless your family. Bye-bye.